Good morning, students. We have up till now completed with the sexual reproduction in plants. So, our next topic is sexual reproduction in the human beings. We all know that human beings they are unisexual or dimorphic organism. Now, what is the meaning of word unisexual? Unisexual generally means the individuals where male and female they are separate individuals. Okay, uni means one. So when an individual is having only one sex, either that individual will be male or female, that condition is called as unisexual condition. So human beings they are unisexual. Now, if we talk about the characteristic features of the human beings, their reproductive system, it becomes active at a particular age, and that age where the individual's reproductive system becomes active, that age is called as puberty. You all have studied about puberty in your lower classes also, and here I want to add one important thing which you have to remember, that females they attain puberty earlier as compared to the males. So in girls the puberty time period is 10 to 14 years, but for boys it is quite late as compared to the girls, that is 13 to 15 years. Now in both girls and boys, what happened during the puberty, there are some kind of physiological changes, psychological changes, as well as hormonal changes. So that changes it also called as adolescence. So puberty and adolescence they are quite common terms that we use, and we can say that puberty is the another term used for the adolescence. Adolescence is the time period between the um, infant stage and the adult stage. Okay, so the time period between childhood, not infant, I must say, the time period between childhood and the adulthood is called as the adolescence. यानी जो इनके बीच का टाइम पीरियड है चाइल्डहुड और एडल्टहुड के बीच का टाइम पीरियड, that phase is adolescence phase. Okay, and that adolescence phase is also called as the puberty stage because this is the age when the individual's reproductive system becomes active. Okay, so during the adolescence or during the puberty, what happened, there are some kind of physiological changes. Physiological changes means the organs they get transformed. ओके कुछ ऑर्गन्स में चेंजेस आते हैं. साइकोलॉजिकल चेंजेस मतलब आर थिंकिंग गेट चेंज्ड, hormonal changes are there. Okay, so now we will discuss about the changes that occurs in boys and girls and which are common for boys and girls, that are thick hair. Okay, genital areas, the areas around about the private areas where the hair they start growing. Okay, thin hairs they start coming on the arms, legs, faces. Genital area they become darker. Okay, skin becomes oily, and all of the boys and girls in this age they start thinking about their self. They become aware of the changes that are taking place in their body. So next is the, if we talk about the changes separately in boys and girls during the age of puberty or during the adolescence, there are some changes which are just specific to the boys and some changes which are specific to the girls. Like boys they start appearing having the mustaches and beard. Okay, cracking voice means their voice become hoarse, यानी भारी आवाज हो जाती है boys में. Okay, and Adam's apple it starts appearing. Larynx बाहर की तरफ protruded दिखता है neck area से. Shoulders they become broad. So these are some kind of changes that occurs in the boys. Okay, now in the same way there are some changes that also occurs in the girls during the time period of puberty, like formation of the breast, starting of the menstrual cycle, the voice become high pitched, thrilled voice होती है. Okay, so these are the various changes that takes place in the girls. तो यहाँ से बच्चे क्वेश्चन आ जाता है 2 marks का. क्लियर कि what is the puberty, what is the time period of girls and boys for the puberty, and write down the any two changes that takes place in boys and girls separately. Clear? So these are the various changes that you have to read and remember. Next is, why does reproductive maturity appear late? Why it comes in girls from 10 starting from 10 years and from in boys from 13 years? इतना late time period में क्यों reproductive system active होता है? Because here, for the maturity, for sexual maturity, what is required? The growth of the sex organs, it is required. It is the primary asset कि हम जो सेक्सुअल ऑर्गन्स होते हैं वो प्रॉपरली मैच्योर होने चाहिए. ओके, मेल्स के अंदर स्पर्म्स की फॉर्मेशन प्रॉपर होनी चाहिए. ठीक है, फीमेल्स के अंदर उनका यूट्रस प्रॉपर डेवलप हो जाना चाहिए, बिकॉज यूट्रस हैज़ टू कैरी द बेबी. Clear? So here comes the another important two terms, primary sex organ and secondary sex organs. Primary sex organs, for male it is testes, and for female it is ovaries. You have to remember these. They are also called as gonads. They are also called as gonads. Gonads, or the primary sex organs, are the organs which form the gametes. So in testes, sperms are produced, and in ovaries, eggs are produced. So these are called as the primary sex organs. Okay, and these primary sex organs, they also produce some kind of hormones. That male, that is testes, it will produce sperm as well as testosterone, the male hormone, and ovary, it will produce ova as well as two hormones, female hormones, estrogen and progesterone. Again, this is important question for your competitive exam and for your final exam. Clear? I am again repeating, testes, they are the male primary sex organs, and they are also called as the male gonads. Clear? And they are producing, testes, they are producing two things. First is sperms, and another one is hormone called as testosterone. On the other hand, if we talk about the ovaries, they are the female sex organs, or we can say female gonads. They also produce two things. One is ova, that is egg, and another, they are producing two hormones called as estrogen and progesterone. So these are the female hormones, and this testosterone is the male hormone. We have to remember here these two things. Now, if we talk about the secondary sexual organs, these are the organs which are not producing the gametes, but they are helping in transporting the gametes from one place to another place. Is that clear? They are helping in sexual reproduction. They are helping in nourishing the gametes. So those gametes which do not directly participate in sexual reproduction, they do not produce the gametes, but they are helping the gametes to move from one place to another, that is in conduction, and they also provide the food or nourishment to the gametes. So all these kind of organs, they are called as secondary sex organs. Like in males, it is vas deferens, epididymis, penis, and in female it is vagina, mammary gland, uterus. They all are the secondary sex organs. Now if we talk about now comes the main important topic from here, that is male reproductive system. Now male reproductive system, it is divided into various parts. The first one is gonads, second one is ducts, third one is glands, and fourth one is genital organ. Clear? So अगर ये 5 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन आ जाता है तो आपने इस तरह से सबसे पहले मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम की डिवीजन दिखानी है, दैट इट इज डिवाइडेड इनटू वेरियस पार्ट्स, गोनैड्स, डक्ट्स, ग्लैंड्स एंड जेनिटल organ. So let's begin with the first, that is gonads. I have already explained you that gonads, they are also called as primary male sex organs, and they are helping in producing the sperms, that is the male gamete. Clear? So these gonads, these testes, they are present outside the abdominal area in the male, and that pouch-like structure where it is present is called as scrotum. So testes, they are located in the scrotum, and scrotum is hanged outside the abdominal cavity in the male. So question arises over here that why testes, they are present inside the scrotum, why they are not present inside the body, why they are hanging outside the body. So this is why, this is so because the sperms, they require a particular temperature for their formation, and our body temperature is higher for the formation of the sperm. So उतने high temperature पर sperms की formation नहीं हो पाती, जिसके कारण जो sperms हैं वो नहीं बनते. तो जो testes हैं वो body के बाहर लोकेटेड हैं एक पाउच लाइक स्ट्रक्चर में, जिसको हम स्क्रोटम बोलते हैं. तो वो स्क्रोटम क्या करता है, वो टेम्परेचर को लोअर डाउन कर देता है. Okay, so it is acting as a thermoregulator. It is controlling the temperature so that spermatogenesis, or we can say the formation of sperm, can take place maximally. Clear? So this is again important question, that why testes are present in scrotum. Okay, so I have given you the explanation that why testes, they are present in the scrotum. Now each testes, it is having the different structures called as the lobules. Okay, and each lobule, it is having 1 to 3 seminiferous tubule. Again, the another important thing which you have to remember is seminiferous tubules are the part of the testes where in actual the sperms, they are produced. Clear? तो अगर पूछा जाए कि testes में sperms कहाँ बनते हैं, that is seminiferous tubule. That is seminiferous tubule is the site where the sperms, they are produced. Clear? Now one important, again one more important thing over here, that the जो ये हमारे seminiferous tubules हैं, they are embedded in connective tissues. They are present inside the connective tissues, and the connective tissues, they are having a special cells called as the Leydig cells. Okay, two types of cells are there. ठीक है, Leydig cells and Sertoli cells. Leydig cells, they produce the male hormone called as testosterone. हमने अभी पढ़ा था टेस्टिस, दे आर प्रोड्यूसिंग स्पर्म्स, स्पर्म्स बन रहे हैं सेमिनिफेरस ट्यूब्यूल में, और टेस्टोस्टेरोन सिक्रीट करता है. टेस्टोस्टेरोन कौन बना रहा है, कहाँ पर बन रहे हैं, लेडिक सेल्स में. लेडिक सेल्स, दे आर प्रोड्यूसिंग द मेल हार्मोन दैट इज कॉल्ड एज टेस्टोस्टेरोन. सो दिस टेस्टोस्टेरोन, एज इट इज द मेल हार्मोन, सो इट हेल्प्स इन द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ द सेक्सुअल, मेल सेक्सुअल करेक्टर्स. एंड मैं सेमिनिफेरस ट्यूब्यूल का आपको ऑलरेडी फंक्शन बता चुकी हूँ. सो दैट वाज सर्टोली सेल्स का काम क्या है. सर्टोली सेल्स, दे हेल्प्स इन द नरिशमेंट ऑफ द स्पर्म्स. जो भी सेमिनिफेरस ट्यूब्यूल में स्पर्म्स बनेंगे, वो सर्टोली सेल उनको क्या करेगा, न्यूट्रिशन प्रोवाइड करेगा फॉर देयर फर्दर ग्रोथ. नाउ दैट वाज द गोनाड पार्ट. नाउ द नेक्स्ट वन इज द ducts part. Duct means the tube-like structure which are helping in the conduction of the sperm from the seminiferous tubule to outside the body. So the duct system includes here, the duct system, it includes vas efferentia, epididymis and vas deferens. Okay, these are the part of the duct system. Duct, I have already told you the function just now, that they are helping in conduction of the sperms. So vas efferentia, they are 12 to 14 pairs of fine tubes, very fine tubes, very thin tubes, where the freshly formed sperms, they are created and moved. Clear? Then comes the epididymis. They are 4 to 6 meter long tubes which are highly coiled. Okay, and they store and nourish the sperms temporarily. ठीक है, कुछ टाइम के लिए एपिडिडमिस क्या करता है, स्पर्म को स्टोर करता है और नरिशमेंट देता है. क्लियर? Then comes the vas deferentia, which is also called as vas deferens. They are the pair of ट्यूब लाइक स्ट्रक्चर्स, ठीक है, सभी ट्यूब लाइक स्ट्रक्चर्स ही हैं, एंड दे आर 30 to 35 centimeter long. Okay, so epididymis give rise to the vas deferentia. Clear? So these vas deferentia, they receive the we can say that they enters the abdominal area. ठीक है, it receive a duct from the seminal vesicle and forms the ejaculatory duct. Okay, then the duct including the prostate gland, ejaculatory duct, which joins the urethra. Urethra is the part of the urinary system. Okay, excretory system. So in males, what happened, the sperms and urine, it passed from a common pathway. So that duct is called as urinogenital duct. This duct is the common pathway for urethra, or we can say urethra, it forms the urogenital duct. It is the common pathway for the removal of the sperms as well as urine. In the male, it is common pathway, we have to remember. Okay, so this urogenital tract, it receives the secretion from various glands and then passes it to the penis to remove it outside. Now come to the next part, that is the glandular parts, the male glands. That is again the important part. Clear? So in glands, we are having three main glands: seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and bulbourethral gland, which is also called as the Cowper gland. Okay, seminal vesicle, they are the pair of the glands which are present between the urinary bladder and rectum. Rectum is the part of digestive system. Okay, and they produce a viscous alkaline secretion. एक गाढ़ी सी basic secretion बनाता है. Viscous means गाढ़ी, dense. Alkaline means basic. And that secretion, it is rich in the fructose, that is carbohydrate, proteins, prostaglandin, fibrinogens, and this secretion forms 60 to 70% of total seminal plasma. Clear? Then comes the another gland, that is the prostate gland. It is the single gland, it is not present in the pair. Okay, so it is large in size. It is present in the area where urethra and ejaculatory duct, they are joined together. Clear? And again, they secrete a secretion which is alkaline, which is viscous, and which is milky. Milky means it is whitish in color. This secretion is important for the movement of the sperms, and it includes 20 to 30% of the seminal plasma. Clear? These muscles of the prostate gland, it helps in the ejaculation, it helps in the removal of the sperms. Okay, then comes the next gland, that is bulbourethral gland. That is bulbourethral gland or the Cowper gland. It is again present in the pair. They are very small in size. Clear? And they also secrete a secretion which is alkaline and which is rich in mucus. ठीक है, तो ये जो म्यूकस है, ये एक ऑयली सब्सटेंस होता है. सो इट लुब्रिकेट्स द जेनाइटल ट्रैक्ट एंड न्यूट्रलाइज द एसिडिटी ऑफ द फीमेल जेनाइटल ट्रैक्ट. क्लियर? सो यहाँ से इन ग्लैंड्स के ऊपर पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन आ जाता है. देन कम्स द अनदर वन, दैट इज द मेल genital organ, that is called as the penis. It is also called as the copulatory organ because it is helping in the reproduction process generally. Okay, so if we describe the structure of the penis, its tip is broad and sensitive. Okay, and that tip part is called as the glans, and which is covered by the fold of the skin called as the prepuce. ठीक है, prepuce बोल सकते हैं इसको. This prepuce is removed in many cases. Clear? And penis, it contains 3 columns of the spongy tissues. Whenever there is the process of reproduction, it gets filled with the blood and the penis becomes erect. Clear? So this is again about the male reproductive system. Now sometime the question comes that describe or define the semen and the structure of the sperm. So it is again important. Semen, ये जितनी भी हमारे glands थे, इनकी जो common secretion है, that is called as semen. Okay, the semen, it is white, milky, alkaline structure which is including the sperm inside it. इन सब की secretion में जब क्या मिल जाता है, sperms मिल जाते हैं, उनको हम क्या बोल देते हैं, semen. Okay, it amount is, इसकी अमाउंट भी आपको रिमेंबर करनी है, 2.5 to 4 milliliter. Okay, and this amount, it contains 300 to 400 million sperms, and this semen, it is rich in fructose. सिर्फ ह्यूमन बॉडी में जो फ्रक्टोज है वो यहीं पर प्रेजेंट होता है सीमेन में, और कहीं पर भी प्रेजेंट नहीं होता. क्लियर. इट ऑल्सो कंटेन फिब्रिनोजन, हमने ऊपर पढ़ा है. एल्कलाइन केमिकल्स हैं होते हैं इसमें. Now we will describe the structure of the sperm. The sperm is the male gamete, okay, and it contains generally 3 parts: head, middle piece, and tail. Head has a cap-like structure called as acrosome. Clear? This acrosome, it has many enzymes which break the covering of the egg. As sperm enter to the egg, so its acrosome break the covering of the egg so that nucleus of the male sperm can enter inside the egg. Okay, middle piece, it is having the mitochondria, and we all know that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. So sperm को जो energy मिल रही है वो कहाँ से मिल रही है, mitochondria which is present in the middle piece. Along with the mitochondria, this region is having the distal centriole also. Clear? So it provides the energy. Now comes the last part. This is the tail part. This tail is long, narrow structure which helps in the movement of the sperm. So this was all about the male reproductive system.